good before, but who are you now? I've tried all time enough, I knew you. Who are you now?
Hey everyone, I thought it's time to make a new mixing session from start to finish and even do the mastering. So I have this really nice track here that I need to mix. I made it with a friend of mine. All the elements are quite cool, but the mix is all over the place and pretty horrible. Let's get it started. And the first thing I want to do is to use the strip mini on the kick drum because I just need to level it and have some nice minor adjustments. And our kick is leveled and we can do bass mono as well, because I'm not sure if there's some stereo in there. Let's do the same thing for the snare. Strip mini, drums, snare. Perfect. Our snare is already leveled. Let's use the strip on the hi-hats because I think I want to make some more advanced stuff here. Drums, hi-hats. Sounds good, but the reason why I'm using the strip now here is because I want to add some delays and some stereo effects here because I think there's not a lot of stuff going on in those hi-hats. So let's maybe try some fast dotted delays maybe. Very subtle, but does some nice extra stuff. And I can also do some auto pan, maybe 25–30%. And I see we got some movement going on here, which will be nice in the final mix. With this crash here, definitely only need strip mini here. Drums, percussion. Okay, the plugin did some medium compression on it because I think it wanted to maintain the tail more of the crash. I don't think we need this. Let's do soft compression. Low cut is fine. Okay, our next element, the bass. Let's make a longer loop here. And we also use the big strip for that. Bass, sub bass. Let's have a listen. Sounds nice. Maybe I'll add even some more warmth, so we have some more harmonics and overtones. Bass mono is very important here. So we have a nice mono signal in the bass area. And I want to duck this bass with the kick. So here on the strip, in Ableton it works here, but in any other DAW, there's a way to do it. I'll select the kick. And now I turn the shaper on and click here on this SC for sidechain. And now each time a kick hits, the shaper curve will start and there will be room for our kick in the bass. The reason why I needed to do this with the sidechain signal is because our kick drum is not 4 to the floor. It's a breakbeat. So this is why I use the sidechain input. If it's a 4 to the floor kick, you can just use it in a normal mode. Let's see. You can hear the moment the kick is coming and you can also see it. Make it more extreme just for the effect. It's kind of cool. Maybe let's make it even a bit longer than before. Other than that, sounds really nice. Now we have those chords. This is like basically some chords I played, then some vocals I put on top of it and reversed it and everything. And at some point, I just flattened the whole thing so I cannot change anything anymore. So we have to see what we can do with it. So let's use also the strip on this one. And let's use synth and synth bass chords. Let's also do the ducking via the sidechain signal. Let's also do, did I do 60% something? Sounds pretty cool, but now the crucial part is coming, the vocals. So let's add the strip on the vocals. Vocal, lead, male. So the vocal still is a bit buried in this pad sound. So first of all, I will check the balance EQ. So I raised a little bit the very high part, so we have a bit more sparkle and presence. Also here, a little raise. And I also lowered the lower band here, so maybe we can also raise the low cut a little bit. Then maybe also, let's see the suggested frequencies here. Let's maybe also try the smoothing function on this one. Now I immediately also felt like turning maybe the vocal 2 dBs up, but let's check first if I really want to have the vocals louder, or maybe I just need to carve some space out here from those chords.
I've had enough of the trying game and the who are you now? I've tried it all, sad enough, I knew you.
I think this was definitely a good choice to get rid of some of the low mids here as well. Then let's have a look at the background ones. Let's use the strip mini here. Vocal, backing vocals. Pretty nice mix so far. Was also not too hard to get there. And I really have to say, all this stuff here, there's really nothing fancy going on. It's really like a rough take from a session. Of course, the vocals, they're selected, so it's chopped from different takes, and they are also pitch corrected a little bit. But other than that, it's just straight out of the microphone. And the backing vocals are also some takes put together, nothing too fancy. Now let's maybe add the Liquid 2 on the main vocal, and we can turn off the internal reverb and the delay, because I want to have some more control over the reverb and delay in the lead vocal. So let's say UK Garage Pop Male Vocal Short Reverb. Let's see what it comes up with.
Who are you now? I've tried it all, sad enough, I knew you. Who are you now? I've tried it all, sad enough, I knew you. I've had enough of the trying game and the who are you now?
Exactly the vibe I was going for. I just raised a bit the ducking amount, so we have the reverb going even less on when the vocal is there. Then let's also try something on the background vocals. Let's do epic background vocals.
I've tried all, sad enough, I knew you. Who are you now? I've tried it all, sad enough, I knew you. I've had enough of the trying game and the. Who are you now? I've tried all, sad enough, I knew you.
While listening now, I figured that I want the backing vocals even further in the back. But other than that, I think it's a really nice mix now. So we can use the strip analyzer, put it on the master. Let's just have a listen. What I really like to do as well is to toggle on mono here, so I can listen to the mix in mono only. A lot of people will at the end listen it on their phones or other mono devices, so it's nice to check if it sounds okay on mono and if nothing important is missing. This triangle here shows us the stereo spread. If I put on mono, you will only see the straight line, and if there's stereo content happening, it will expand based on the amount. You can also look at the oscilloscope here. You can look at the left side, the right side, and we can freeze it also to see if anything funky is going on. A really cool thing about this analyzer plugin is that we can create a profile. You can use any kind of song, any finished song of another artist or of yourself, and click here on create profile, and then you can play it back. So I now saved a profile of what we just heard. And what happens now with this profile, if I open the strip master, which we will do now because we're about to master the song, now I can go in here to your profiles. And now I can also see here the profile that we just recorded and can use it instead of one of the other presets. So for example, if you have a reference track and you want your song to sound as close as the reference track as possible, you can just use the strip analyzer to create a profile, and then you can use it as a preset, and the plugin will try to match the tonal balance and everything to your reference track. And I'll maybe go to pop and UK garage pop female vocals, but I think this will be fine, even though I trained it with female vocals, but the singer is in a higher range, so it should be fine. Sounds really, really nice. As you can see now, it's still at 50%, but of course I can play around with it while listening. Now you can see we have a perfect match with the reference profile, and it also really sounds nice. I can leave it at 100%. There's a really nice trick I always like to do, especially with vocals. I go to the image EQ, and then in like the muddy frequencies, like around 250 Hertz, I carve out the side information here because I want the vocal to have this place here and everything maybe from the chords that's on the side information. We will turn it down, and only the mid stuff, like the mono stuff, for example, our vocal, will be very present in this area.
Who are you now? I've tried all, sad enough, I knew you.
gave instantly the vocals so much more presence with just like this little trick. We can maybe also raise the very high part here a bit.
Who are you now? I've tried all, said enough, I knew you. Who are you now? I've tried all, said enough, I knew you. I've had enough.
Maybe we apply some smoothing, maybe for some harsh stuff. Let's have a look at our analyzer now.
Who are you now? I've tried all, said enough, I knew you. Who are you now? I've tried all, said enough, I knew you. I've had enough of the trying game and the...
Yeah, I think it's the perfect loudness. Also around -9 LUFS is, I think, the best you can aim at. And the plugin will always by default try to match -9 because that's how I think it sounds best. Let's even activate true peak safety and let's activate oversampling. Oversampling will use a lot more CPU, but it will make sure that everything sounds really nice and clean. And we can bounce our master now like that.
Who are you